Ann Sachs, and I'm here to give you tips on healthy eating. Today I'm going to talk about the produce you get at the farmer's market. Sometimes you come home with all this wonderful produce, or you get a CSA, which has a whole bunch of wonderful vegetables, and maybe you put them in the fridge, and a week or two later you have a biology project. So we don't want to let that happen. One of the ways I deal with it is to cook everything at once, or multiple things at once. I took an onion and some mushrooms and I cut them up, and I like to dry roast them on parchment paper. And parchment paper is a great invention. It's just a wonderful tool in the kitchen because you pull out a sheet, and when you cook on it, the cleanup is just dump the empty sheet in a trash can, and you don't have to clean your pans. So here I've cut up some an onion, and this was just one onion, thinly sliced, and spread it all around so everything gets evenly cooked. And I also did the same for about 10 ounces of organic mushrooms that I got. And I set my oven to 400 degrees, and I'm just going to pop these in the oven. You want to keep an eye on them. It doesn't matter. I can't give you a time for how long it's going to cook. You're just going to check them every so often. So, all right, here we go. Okay, you might also have gotten a bunch of carrots, some shallots, maybe some garlic, and these two can be combined together, maybe with a little more interesting of a recipe. I just cut the carrots diagonally. I cut off the end of the shallot and peel it, and do the same for the garlic cloves. So I have, a bunch of these in here. And this is where you might want to just, oops, let me get the spoon out of there, squirt a little bit of olive oil and mix it around. And if you're watching calories, you just want to do a little bit of olive oil. You're going to take some maple syrup and mix that around too, and really coat those veggies well. If you like, you can add a little salt and a little pepper, and then mix it around. And again, we use our wonderful parchment paper. And spread everything around nicely so they cook evenly. And we're going to pop these in the oven too. Okay, so I guess you're wondering what we're going to do with those mushrooms, onions, carrots, shallots, and garlic. We can combine it into a dinner. And so I took out the mushrooms and the onions. The onions got a little burnt, but not too bad. You have to watch them starting in about 15 minutes. The carrots are still in the oven because they take an hour, and actually if they're a little bit brown or burnt around the edges, that's okay too. I took out the garlic early on because I wanted to get some roasted garlic flavor in here. You could just use some fresh garlic if you want, but I like that roasted garlic flavor, and I had to sort of squeeze the garlic out and put it here. In the meantime, while the vegetables were cooking, I made some quinoa. 1 cup of quinoa, rinsed in cold water first, and then 2 cups of vegetable broth, and it takes about 15 minutes, so that can be done. I also rinsed and drained a can of black beans, and they're sitting here. And what I'm going to do is combine everything at the end. So we've got our quinoa here. Throw our black beans in. Just scrape up the onions, and you don't have to use them all if you don't want to. You can save some for something else later in the week. Like if you remember, I made breakfast polenta. Well, the mushrooms are really good in that. And I want to mix it all around. Combine it. And then it's always good to have some greens, like baby spinach. And I'm going to put some of that on top and put it back on the heat until the spinach wilts. Put it back here. Turn the heat on again. And that'll heat up the black beans and the mushrooms and onions a little bit and wilt the spinach. All right. Once everything is heated up, mix it together. You can add a little lemon juice, a little of the garlic, roasted garlic, and a little grated lemon, and mix that around really well. Okay, so this makes a really delicious, nourishing dish that has beans, greens, grains, mushrooms, onion. Wonderful. And let's not forget about our carrots. Oh, these are really good. Remember, I put maple syrup and a little olive oil. And those shallots, you will not believe how delicious they are coming out of the oven. A little bit blackened. And there you go. Here's a dinner made from your farmer's market vegetables. Okay, this is Ann Sachs wishing you healthy eating.